Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Wednesday, December 31st. Happy New Year's, everyone. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Yogi. Thank you for the Happy New Year's wishes. Good morning. Again, Patrick, thanks for sticking with it. Well, thank you for sticking with the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Hope everyone learned something this year or expanded their knowledge. I appreciate everybody tuning in. That's really the reason I was going to do that today. I didn't. I mean, we have some things to look at, but it was more important to just say Happy New Year to everybody and thank you for being part of this wonderful group. Happy New Year to you, Daniel. Good morning, OD Green. Good morning, Patrick and Rusty over on Rumble with a couple people in the background over there. Remember, you can always jump in the chat. Oops. Come on. Come on. There we go. Hate when the bar jumps around. All right. There we go. Hello, Charles. Happy New Year to you, too. So, again, it's not going to be a long session today, but there's a couple things to look at. By the way, we also had initial and continuing jobless claims come out this morning. Drop in initial claims, drop in continuing claims. Pretty big drops in there. Good morning, Balaji. What else do we have? So big jar that sustains the sort of the bounce back that started about an hour ago in the markets. So we have EIA numbers coming up for the crude traders coming out. And then remember, tomorrow is nothing. Tomorrow night, though, the future's open. Tomorrow night, when I say tomorrow night, it would be a USA time. Hey, MJ. Thank you. Thank you very much. So, I'm going to be watching for a couple of things, especially if we trigger percent B buys today, or if we pull back. I'll be watching a Thursday night for possible entries for percent beat buys. But that's really what I'm looking for. We're done with this. Tomorrow there's nothing, and then Friday there's just the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI final. That's it. So a light day on Friday. But thank you, Royal Palms. Happy New Year to you. Hello, Mark. Thank you for tuning in. All right. So coming back down, I've already updated my levels for today, but spiking in yesterday was a very quiet day, a little spike down overnight. So key line in the sand is right around this 69.07. This was a 4 hour. It's not closed yet, but unless if we have a big drop in the next 52 minutes, this would not be a percent beat buy. But at this point, this is what I was looking at. Little pullback. Uh, we have a percent beat buy off of on a 4 hour basis. We're now back above the other another key level. So on any pullback now, I'm looking at the 69.45 area to be support. Worst case heading into this morning. Worst case is right around the rotation zone in about 69.37 if it pulls back there. But I'm going to be watching for that. We're now above a very prior key level of prior support level that turned into resistance. Now we're back above it, so it's now support again. 69.59 is still, we poked above it yesterday a couple times and could not sustain anything above it besides little quick pokes, but that's still 69.59, 69.60 is what's key. I'm also looking at this if we come back up. If we closed above yesterday's high at 69.6150, it's officially a daily percent beat buy. If we do not, and this bar pulls back a bit, it could be setting up again for another percent beat buy when futures open tomorrow night. Good morning, Holy Holy. So that's exactly what I'm looking for. Again, I can't get bearish. Been very patient, but can't get bearish with at least into for the next couple days. At least we'll have to reassess next week. Okay, but just there's too much natural upwards bias in this. We had the nice little pullback into the daily rotation zone, the rotation back up. And again, we had that 4 hour percent beat buy. It looks like it's going to follow through with the trigger. On the NASDAQ, we had the same thing. 4 hour percent B that's triggered and back above 25 655 57 area was key resistance, and we're back above there, so I'll be watching on any pullback for that to maintain support with probably the first cross of 1 hour rotation zone. My major on this end is 25 559, 25 560. If we drop below there, I'm not looking for anything bullish then. If we pulled back below there. Now, 25 770 is very key resistance on here. And this is a little more work to do. It would have to get the daily percent beat buy, would have to get all the way back above 25 793.75 on a closing basis. Again, pull back to the bottom of the daily rotation zone and rotating back up. Now, if we do take out this 25 559 area, not interested in any longs or holding anything at all. So that's exactly what I'm looking at. Dow, the Dow, not much of a reaction just yet. Same thing. By the way, back to NASDAQ. If we don't trigger a percent beat buy today on a daily basis and we do pull back, I'll be watching the same thing for the setup when the futures open tomorrow night. I'll be looking to see what the high prices of today, if it's a valid percent beat buy. Remember, it's still got to be below zero. But I'll be looking to see if we break above that high when it opens. That'll be a very key area, and then it's got to follow through on Friday with a close above that level. But we'll be back on Friday to take a look at that. The Dow, again, it have to get above yesterday's high 48,774 to be a daily percent beat buy today. Uh, So that's what we're looking at. And by the way, a very key level. We're trading against a very key level of resistance right now. A very key level of resistance right now. So I'm going to be looking at 48, about 650, 655 area. The Russell officially confirming the double top, but again, it would have to turn around and close back below 2505.4 to trigger it. I'd be shocked if it did trigger it, but that's what we're looking at. This is the last one on my list for bullish. Again, my first is still the S&P. First is still the S&P. The did have a little potential 4 hour percent beat buy, but this is the weakest. This is the weakest one. It has to sustain above about 25.15 to at least start building a base this morning. The VIX, not much to talk about. Just slightly elevated, but still below major resistance from before. Still below about 1480. So if this starts dropping, it'll shift me even more to bullish mode today. The 10-year, again, little rotation back up, still holding key support, but it's been caught in a consolidation phase for, boy, nearly since the beginning of December, just after the first week of December. So we'll have to see how that starts reacting next week. Crude, again, watching the 50 EMA, came up. Again, 58.50 is very key resistance. So I'm going to be watching where it settles today in relation to 58.50, or I doubt we'll have the stronger move, but we do have an EIA numbers coming out today. It'd have to get above 50, roughly 59 is conservative, would definitely take us above the 50 EMA. Other than that, support now back at 57. Gold, CME hiked margins again. Gold taking out both Monday and yesterday's low, which was an inside bar. Now let's watch where it closes today in relation to the rotation zone. It's back above the rotation zone right now. This might set up tomorrow for a percent B buy. So I'll be paying attention to the high when gold opens tomorrow. If we do continue to break down, major supports around 42.12. Silver, a lot of back and forth here. Silver yesterday rallied up, could not close above the 62.5 yesterday. Came up to the 50 and 62 and a half and then rotated back down. That's why we watched the 62 and a half. All right, hold on. I got to say good morning. Good morning, Sterling. Another super busy day for you. Happy New Year, Sterling. So that's where we sit right there. If we do take out, there's a very strong support level right above the $70 mark, or right about 70.20. If we did take that out, it could be a real quick trip back down to about $67. So keep that in mind. Other than that, I'm watching to see if this level does hold right here. And there might be a little mini 4 hour. It would be super aggressive in silver, but the gold is could be set up for the better play, at least from a percent B strategy. Dollar index continuing yesterday, closing above the 8 and continuing closer to the 21 off the percent B buys. That continues to follow through, but I would be aggressively trailing any stops on a dollar related, and the euro. The euro coming back down to the bottom of the rotation zone. So again, in the dollar and the euro, I'll be looking, especially the euro, I'll be looking to see if this sets up a percent B buy for one more pop higher. But we've got waning momentum now. If it confirms a double, I'm not interested in anything anymore. Good morning, Jake. What else? Let's just get through a couple more things. Bitcoin, not doing nothing. It's 9,400, 90,400 is still key. Again, I think all the Bitcoiners went into the metals. Spiders, pay attention. We don't have any percent B buy setups here, but you can still pay attention to yesterday's high. Yesterday's high is going to be key in my book. If we do set up one for, if we do pull back or set up a percent B buy today, I'll be looking for that on Friday. But it doesn't look like we might do that unless we really start pulling back again. Very key support is at that 686 level. I pay attention to the futures more than the spiders or the Qs today. Little gap up today, so I don't need roll over be to the gap filled. Uh, so that's where we sit there. Key resistance, I pay attention to yesterday's high in both the spiders and the Qs. What else do we have? Hey, good morning, dark screen sleep. Just be patient with, if you're looking for any shorts in the metals, just be patient. All this price actions pretty much do well. Silver's also, we got export controls kicking in from China, but it's mainly due to the hike in margins. Two hikes now in margins, and that'll put a damper on speculation. Uranium, uranium, nothing has been invalidated yet. I'm watching now to see if this comes back down and tests this key, gets below 41.15. 42.35 gets interesting. 41.15. Then I'll be looking again anywhere down here. It's only been able to hit the first target from the double top pattern. So I'm watching for any key support. If we do break below this 40 level, then I'm not touching anything bullish until we get down to the other targets. Other than that, just being very, very patient, seeing if this sets up. It would be a very sloppy double bottom on the daily. The weekly gets challenging because it would go into these tails. But I'm going to be still looking to see if we get down into potential sloppy double bottom territory and hold this first target. Because then I'll be looking again. Like back here, we had a little percent B buy back at the, November Friday before Thanksgiving, and it bounced up And now it's pulling back. Going to be looking again if we hold down here, possibly for another percent beat buy, if it can hold these levels, if it can hold this 40 area. So there's your uranium. Other than that, when Tesla's got to be reporting over the next maybe Friday their quarterly delivery numbers, which are already starting to dial down. So we'll see about that. Again, let's see if there gets a pop in here. I'm still looking for a major topping pattern in Tesla, but nothing yet. What else? That's really about it. We don't have to dwell on anything today. We don't have to dwell on much. It's Friday, Friday. It's Wednesday, New Year's Eve, thinner volume. I'm just mainly focused on the S&P. Mainly focused on the S&P, especially going into the open to see if it can hold the key support area on any pullback. Holidays price action is purely algorithmic. You have always have the algos running in the automatic stuff, but yeah, and you have less participants, but it's not purely algorithmic. There's still players in this. It's just a lot less because we have a lot lower volume and a lot of people are off. Can I check Planters Peanuts? Palantir. Palantir is, I mean, it's on any pullback, I'd be looking closer to 177.50. That's a very key area of support. If it starts breaking that, uh it's not good in the short term. And there is a massive weekly double top, but we're a long way off from that one. Just be watching this 177.50 if you're bullish on this. That would be key. Where the reverse? Let me just see where the reverse harmonics would take us. And then if it breaks below that, I'd be looking at the major line to say in the short term. If it does break below 177.54, is 168.81. You close below that, tips the probabilities short term, easily retests the 200, and then possible trigger of the massive weekly double top. There is a lot of support in here, though, right around this 155 mark, though. So would not be looking for a lot of shorts here on a drop unless it'd be a scalpy short below 177.50. All right. Oh, come on, let's linger. Let's not linger. That's it for today. I hope everyone has a wonderful, happy New Year's Eve and kicks off tomorrow to 2026 with a bang. Hopefully, it's a good kind of bang. And I will see everyone back on Friday for the first trading day of 2026. Again, thank you for tuning in. I hope everyone learned at least one thing this year to take forward in their trading and investing career. And thank you all for tuning in. Best of luck to everyone. Bye for now. You're welcome, Balaji. Bye for now.